The headlines: police probe shocking video of elderly abuse at a nursing home. Work starts to remove sand buildup threatening yachts entering the careenage, and Rendezvous reach Banks knockout final. Welcome to Nation News for Tuesday, May the 17th, 2016. Thanks so much for joining us. Police are investigating shocking footage which has emerged of the mistreatment of an elderly woman at a nursing home. The video, which has gone viral, shows a caretaker beating the woman, Jasmine Hall, at the Roseville Nursing Home in Durance in Christchurch. Owner Pamela Hill said the footage was not new and they had taken action on the abuse 2 weeks ago, though she did not say exactly what. She said the care home would have to do more checks when hiring in the future. Ms. Hall's daughter, Barbara Daniel Goddard, told Nation News her mother was suffering from dementia and had been in the home for 3 years. The head of the National Conservation Commission says he is negotiating with the Finance Ministry to secure funding for new lifeguards as there is a shortage. NCC General Manager Keith Neblett told Nation News he is hoping additional numbers can be hired in time for the next winter tourist season.
Currently we have a minimum of about 3 per station, but really we need at least about 5 per station to cover the off days. But what I can say, they did some incredible work during the winter season. There were no drownings, and I think it's a lot to do in terms of where Barbados themselves, the Barbados Authorities themselves, have taken heed of the problems that can be encountered.
Mr. Neblett was speaking on Tuesday as the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association donated $20,000 in lifeguard equipment to the NCC. Work has begun to divert a buildup of sand at the mouth of the careenage that threatened the movement of boats into the inner basin. About 4,000 cubic meters of sand is said to be involved. A containment pond will be constructed and will be filled with this dredged sand, which will be allowed to dry out before being brought inland. Harbour Master Richard Aline expects the work to last a few weeks. The news will come as a relief to pleasure craft operators who have been getting increasingly fearful for their safety. The shallow draft at the port has been undergoing an upgrade to provide 40 fully serviced yacht berths. This information came through the Yachting World website, which reported on what it said was an attempt by Barbados to regain lost ground in international yachting circles. The new shallow draft marina, which could get a name change, will also be home to a new customs and immigration office, especially for yachts. The publication said that this will be a welcome change from the current situation where yachts have to negotiate the cruise ship port to find customs and immigration, then struggle to moor on a ship-sized dock and visit multiple offices filling in similar paperwork. Yachting World noted that the careenage had not long ago also undergone a makeover to fit 50 stern to moorings, which all have water and electricity. So Barbados can now boast 90 public berths alongside the private marinas at Port St. Charles and Port Ferdinand in St. Peter. The violent lyrics of some dancehall songs have angered the Minister of Culture, Stephen Lashley, who is not happy that they are being heard on radio. Speaking at the weekend, he said he was concerned about the escalation of gun violence and the impact this kind of music has on the minds of young people.
The impact that this is having on the minds of our citizens, especially our young people. I believe that these songs should not be played on our radio stations, and you must not create a market for them by either purchasing these songs or circulating them on social media. I'm very concerned that some of these songs portray gun crimes, lewd behavior, and promotes the use of illegal drugs. I believe that if our society does not take a united stand against these influences, then of course we have only ourselves to blame.
The quick loan or fast cash companies may not fall under local regulators, but one of them is insisting that borrowers have nothing to be suspicious about. Group CEO of Fast Cash Caribbean, Michael Williams, spoke after a local financial regulator said legal changes are coming to bring the new lenders under supervision. They currently fall outside the Financial Institutions Act as they do not take deposits. Mr. Williams told Nation News Fast Cash is well run and fills a gap in the market.
Traditional lenders make much more of their money on higher value loans, but not everybody needs higher value loans all the time, right? You can run a profitable portfolio by giving out 50 mortgages of $500,000 a piece, and be a very good institution doing that. In our business, we probably had to deal with 2,000 and 3,000 and 4,000 people to get to that size. But at the end of the day, you find that the process of getting $3,000 when the same officer really has to process $500,000, it's a different experience for the customer.
A play park has been officially opened at Ockners in St. James. The park was part of a program by UWI social work students Anya Gage and Alan Thompson under the direction of Letney Rock and with the help of Kiwani's Club Pride. MP for St. James South Donville Inniss spoke at the opening ceremony.
And as a politician, I keep saying all the time, we can't do it all, 10% decrease or not. We can't do it all on our own. We really and truly need community workers such as yourself to get together. So this evening we are celebrating the presence and the work of UWI students in particular. I want to thank Dr. Rock and the social work program going on there as well, and Kiwani's Club for what they're doing. The other point that we must also celebrate this evening is the fact that we provide an opportunity in a safe space for young children to really and truly explore and celebrate and recognize themselves.
Forbes, the business magazine, says 2016 is likely to be one of Rihanna's best years financially. It says her anti-world tour is going well, her newest album is selling consistently, and hit after hit is making it to the upper regions of the Hot 100. In sport, for the third time in 4 years, Rendezvous will contest the Banks Bear Champions Cup final. After a miserable run of league form, the champions defeated Moccasin Britons Hill 4-1 on Sunday night. In the first semi-final, neighbourhood care pharmacy Weymouth Wales defeated UWI 2-0. And finally, this is election year in the United States, as you know, and one of the perks is apparently using your final wish to express your political preferences, namely telling those living through to voting day in November who to vote for. This is what a Pennsylvania chiropractor did back in January when he asked mourners in lieu of flowers not to vote for Donald Trump. An Alabama woman asked her friends and family to do the same when she passed away in April. One Virginia grandmother took the joke a step further in her obituary published on Tuesday. The death of Mary Ann Noland, 88, was announced by explaining that, faced with the prospect of voting for either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, Nolan chose instead to pass into the eternal love of God. While that is certainly one way out, a family member said the obituary was definitely a joke. And that's Nation News for Tuesday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And remember to pick up your Midweek Nation on Wednesday or subscribe to our e-paper.